Why should you never date anyone at work?
I have experience.
We all have experience.
Oh, it can get so muddy. You don't want to do it. People gossip, especially in the workplace. Word gets around, and eventually, if you guys break up, everyone will start telling their own stories about why and talk behind your back and stuff like that. It just becomes...
Welcome to Linecheck's Battle of the Houses. This is a contest featuring back of house and front of house. These are all service industry and hospitality professionals.
Hi everyone, my name is Chef Nicole. I am co-owner of The Cave Catering here in Long Beach. I've been a chef for only about 4 years and I've loved every second of it. Obviously, I'm representing the back of house.
Hi, my name's Alexis. I've been a server, bartender, and assistant manager for about 6 years. I love what I do, and it's crazy how fast time flies when you love your job and you love what you're doing. And I'm based in Cypress, California.
What's up, guys? Welcome to Linecheck. Today we have Battle of the Houses. We have a new version of this that we'll be doing, and I will be acting as a server and a chef. I'm going to be putting in a ticket, and then I'm going to be reading the ticket for you guys to tell us to answer your question, basically. How did you get into the restaurant industry?
I was 18 years old, and I needed a job because I wanted to move out, and so I first started as like a cashier at Wobble Girl, and I hated it there. But I did like customer service, and I did love talking to people, so it kind of got me interested in the job, and then I kind of moved on from there.
Never been the Wobble Girl before.
It's good.
It's like flame broiler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say better than flame broiler.
Oh, spicy.
Well, I've always grown up playing, kind of embarrassing. I've grown up playing restaurant games. Like as a kid, I've been like the main character going back and forth, trying to keep customers happy, and like their happiness meter would go down, and I would be really sad. So anyways, so when I this was my third job when I first became a server, and then I kind of transitioned to the back of house, and I just absolutely loved it.
I'm pretty sure I played that game too. I can't remember what it was called though, but they had like different versions, like a spa version and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Order fire. What's the most absurd guest request you've ever had?
Most absurd. I had someone want to put a wedding ring at the bottom of a lasagna.
Lasagna?
Yep.
Oh my god, that's
And I said lasagna had to be made in advance, so he literally came like days in advance with the wedding ring, and I didn't want to bake the wedding ring in the lasagna, but so I had to like get my chef tweezers and like stick it in there.
Oh, so you did it?
Oh yeah, I did it.
Oh, should have made him sign a waiver.
Yeah, so I think that's the most absurd, because like I don't think he would expect that, and I don't know if she said yes.
Oh my god, that's actually kind of crazy. Mine was when I was bartending, and a lady came up and asked for a virgin martini, and that is not possible. And so I was telling her,
2 ingredients.
Yes, and so I was like, oh, we can't make that, and she's like, you can make any drink virgin. I said, no, we can't make that virgin. And I was like, I would sub it for like water. It's gonna taste terrible. And she was like, asked for a manager and stuff like that. She was fully convinced. So I made it for her. Water with vermouth, and she absolutely hated it. And then she cussed me out and left.
People are so weird.
Yeah.
Like, I really don't get it.
I was like, where she had a virgin martini, I need to know.
Who has like provided this to her?
I don't
Probably
know.
at her house. Buy it from herself.
Yeah, I don't know.
Order fire. How do you feel when a guest doesn't leave a tip?
Ooh.
I think you have many.
I'm very familiar with that. It happens often, and I wouldn't say it's my service. I think I provide excellent service, and I think you should tip based off of that service. So if I'm very confident that I provided the best service I could have provided to them, and then they proceed to not tip, oh my gosh. It hurts my soul, but at least I know it's not me. Like, since I know that I did a good job, I'm just like, it's okay. Next table.
It's just the people that go there.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been stiffed before because I've been a server before too.
Yeah.
But like, I guess as a chef, it doesn't really affect me anymore.
I
But
know.
I mean, tipping culture is much different now than it was 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
You
It's
know?
actually
So-
crazy.
Have you ever worked in a restaurant where you were tipped as a cook?
No,
No. Okay.
no. Like I know there's like tipping
Pulls. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, never.
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, I've worked at restaurants where I get tipped out as a cook.
Okay.
And when someone doesn't leave a tip, I'm just like, damn, that could have been like some of mine.
Yeah.
And like I put effort into making that food go out as
Because it
fast as it
trickles
can.
down, like to
Yeah.
the bussers and people in the back. so.
Exactly. Yeah.
One thing I would want to add to this conversation though is I know that the back of house workers work their ass off all day to create food, and
Yeah.
for them not to get tipped and to have a higher wage, most of them like are paid minimum wage, maybe $18 an
Yeah.
hour or so. So one thing that I've done when I started my company was we start our pay at 22,
Oh, that's
and
nice.
so it's a little better.
Yeah.
And when we're working on catering, like when we have buffets or whatnot, and my cooks are there and making sure like their food is plated or whatnot, I make sure they're also like tipped out too. That way, like
Oh,
if
okay.
you know the customer tips, let's say $500,
Yeah.
like I'm not gonna give it all to the servers. I'm sorry, like the
You play fair.
That's
because they
awesome.
also put
That's
in work.
awesome.
Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
it's
I've
definitely
tried to
need
change that
an
culture.
even playing field.
yeah.
Yeah, there's just like, I think when people don't tip, they don't understand that the tip doesn't just go to the server most of the times, and it goes to everyone else in the restaurant. And, you know, when you don't tip, you know, there's a dishwasher that's, you know, maybe working 2 jobs and this is their 3rd job also, and
Yeah.
they're trying to make ends meet, and they're not getting a tip.
I know.
So I think, you know, just educating the clientele and guests that, you know, when you don't tip, you're hurting other people, not just the server.
It's a hot take, but
Yeah,
if
hot
you can't
take.
afford to tip, I don't think you should go out to the restaurant.
Ooh, I've heard someone say that before on here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
agree.
I agree with you too.
Yeah.
Some people get real
Just make it at
salty
home.
about
I
that.
know.
They're
Just
like,
eat.
what?
McDonald's.
Order fire. What's the worst meal you've received at a restaurant? And you have to name the place too.
Oh,
Yeah. It's it was in Vegas. It was in the Venetian. I think if I had my phone I could pull out the name. But
It probably
It's a
doesn't exist anymore.
it's a steakhouse in the Venetian.
and
So
it was bad.
you do the math there. It had good reviews, but when I came, like the steak was like overly charred, like on the outside, and my asparagus was gray. And
That's gross.
my sautéed mushroom side it tasted like canned mushrooms. I don't know if you guys
Yeah,
can
I
like.
know what that
there's
is.
a texture to
Yeah,
it,
yeah,
and
yeah.
it's like been sitting in like water in the can,
Yeah.
so it just tastes like that. And
Oh,
like
that's no good.
I literally sent those 2 sides back, and I just dealt with the steak. But it was probably my worst experience in terms of going to like a nice restaurant. You
Yeah.
expect much more.
I always hate that, you know, when
Yeah.
you expect a lot from a restaurant and then you just get the complete opposite and much worse actually, and you're just like, what? Where did I go wrong?
Yeah. Oh, and there was hollandaise on top of the asparagus, and the hollandaise was broken.
Oh no!
Beautiful.
That's the least we could do. Holidays correct. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. What about you?
See, mine is with fine dining. I haven't had like a bad experience. Like I've had times where like they brought out the wrong dish, but I don't even mind because the food was fine anyways. But I went to Korean barbecue one time, and the meat when they brought it out, it was like blue. No, I'm not even lying. It looked unwell. The meat was like turning gray blue. And I was like, I cannot eat that. And so I
That's
told
been
them-
left out a
It's
little bit
been
too
left
long.
out a little bit too
Maybe a
long.
lot.
Yeah, and it turned me off immediately. Like, and so I just basically told them like that I wasn't gonna eat it. Like, I don't know, I was turned off, so they charged me for it
Dang.
because I refused to eat it. So it was like a waste of meat. But I'm like,
Oh, because they charge you.
but any
extra
other
for-
person that was served that, I don't think like you could look at it. It was literally gray and blue.
Aw.
Yeah, but it's okay.
I had a pretty bad meal last night, actually.
Last night?
Really?
Yeah.
Name the place.
Nah, I can't name it. You guys are on the game, not me. Yeah, it's just like super greasy, like oily, like
Oh,
yeah,
no.
it's
Okay.
pretty nasty. I don't like that. And raw carrots. Who likes eating raw carrots?
Yummy.
Order fire. Would you eliminate tips for a higher wage?
I would say, might be controversial, but I would say no, because I have seen lazy workers out there on their phones and not really paying attention to their tables. So I do think tipping, obviously done right, like it really rewards like the hard work that your servers and anyone else in the establishment, like, you know, obviously they enjoy serving you and like they've given you such great service, and for everyone to have the same wage, I don't think is fair.
I agree. It kind of is on the same topic of kind of like shared tips where they like collect all the tips and distribute them. There are people that are going to slack because they know that other people who are carrying their weight and going above and beyond, it kind of doesn't evenly distribute. And I feel that way if everyone were to get a higher wage with no tips. I feel like the service would go down. I'm not actually sure. Maybe happier servers, happier guests because they treat them better. I'm actually not sure. That could be an experiment, but I would say with the distributing of the tips, in other restaurants, I've heard that a lot of people have problems with it because some people are taking more tables, working harder, getting more people and like upselling more than other people are. And then for them to walk out with the same as someone who had half the amount of tables, isn't a great server and like got complaints, how is it fair? I don't know.
That's good. That's a good take. That's a good take.
Yeah.
Don't they do that in Europe where they don't really tip? They have
Yeah,
high
they don't
wages?
tip. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, interesting take. That's a good like thought for that because it comes to fairness. I'm all about being fair, and if someone's busting their ass and then someone else isn't, that just like makes you not want to be like, why the fuck am I busting my ass now? And then they're gonna start like declining, and then maybe the service of the restaurant just goes downhill from there.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it could be an experiment though.
That's what I was saying.
I'll try it out one day. So I'll pay you guys $60 an hour.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Never mind. I changed my mind.
Order fire. Tell us your worst walk-in disaster moment.
Someone has, I don't know who, but there's a freezer walk-in, and I walk in and I see someone has spilt it looks like ice water, and then it just froze over the floor, and then so it's like pebbles of ice and then like the actual water, and it just froze over. So obviously there's no way to like clean that or get that out other than take everything out of the freezer and I guess turn it off and scrape it off. I don't know. I'm glad I wasn't manager at that point. I was just like, I'm just here to work. I'm just gonna step out and pretend I didn't see that. But it was really weird.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I remember mine now. It was my first straight training as an assistant manager. And since you have to wear like obviously different clothes, like manager clothes, I bought a new pair of non-slip shoes. Let me tell you, they were not non-slip.
Were they the Vans ones?
No, they were from no, they were from Amazon.
Okay.
Don't know the brand, or else I'd call them out because they did me dirty.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it was my first day wearing them, and I remember needing something from the walk-in because I was helping out a server who was behind on their like setups and stuff. So I literally kind of walked pretty fast into the walk-in, and I slipped inside the walk-in and ate shit. And basically it hurt because I literally felt bruised, like my tailbone felt bruised, but like I got up immediately. Luckily no one else was in the walk-in because that would have been so embarrassing. But ever since then, that whole day I was like walking very slow around anything that was slippery because I knew automatically these were not non-slip. They were in fact very slippery.
They were probably like, why is she walking like that?
Yeah.
No, I was like stepping instead of like
I know exactly. That happened to me before. I wore work boots at this one restaurant.
Yeah.
And I worked on a like flour dough station making pita. And so flour just get everywhere, and then like water from other stations. And then my shoes would just get caked with flour. So like it just created like the slick shoes.
Yeah.
And then when I walked towards the dish pit, I was like sliding. There's one time it's like so busy and I was just trying to get like a pan and I had to like grab the like rails of like
Oh my god.
yeah, and just
Especially
like
mixing with
slide and
water.
turn. Yeah. It's not good. Yeah. Definitely those boots didn't do me justice. I had to retire them. Who works harder, front of house or back of house?
Back of house, 100%.
Why?
Front of house, they just get told, hey, you come in at 3 o'clock. And your tables are ready for you in like 10-15 minutes, and you just do some side work before you leave, and do some side work before you tip out. Thank you so much. Us, we're like, come in at 5 in the morning, 6 in the morning, and then you don't get out till like after closing. So
Can you work a double? Today
Yeah.
someone called off.
Oh my god. I have to agree. I really do think back of house deserves more praise and credit for what they do, because the amount of like side work and also prep that they have to do to prepare for their shift is actually insane. As a bartender, I do maybe 1/5 of what they do, and I already think that's exhausting. And so especially front of the house, like hosts and servers, nothing compares to back of house for sure.
I agree.
Yeah.
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 Everyone's gonna fight and say, you know, for front of house that they have to deal with people.
Guests.
But you know, back of house has longer hours. We're working in hard conditions.
Yeah.
It's hot, just like it's hot right now. Maybe even hotter with more clothes on and an apron. And yeah, that's my 2 cents on that. Order fire. Tell us your most memorable in the weed story.
Okay, I remember. I felt like I was in a nightmare. Have you ever had nightmares where you like wake up and you're like, oh my god, I forgot the table's ketchup or something?
I had nightmares about this guy right here.
Yes.
This is a sound.
Literally. And so I felt like I was in one of those one day. We had new hosts on the floor, so they were still like fresh out of training. And unfortunately, there wasn't someone strong to kind of keep them together. And when we got busy on a weekend night, they pretty much forgot that I already had a full section and then basically gave me an entire new section. But like at one point I had so many tables, I forgot which tables were mine. It was actually insane. And then when they sat me like their 8th or 9th table, I literally looked at them and was like, so you mean to tell me I have this table, this table, this table, this table, this table, and this table? And they're like, no. I'm like, yes. I was like, I'm dying right now. And so, you know, when you have so much to do, you just don't even know where to begin. And then when people will ask for help, you don't even know what to ask for help for, because you don't even know where to start. That was one of those days, and I felt like it was like a nightmare in my head. I got through it, obviously, but
Was that like
Yes.
Mother's Day or something? It sounds
No.
like Mother's Day or Valentine's Day.
that's what I'm saying. It
situation.
felt like unreal. It was just like a random weekend where maybe we were understaffed a little bit. We didn't expect it to be as busy as it was. It wasn't expected.
I could only think about like my most recent in the weed story where I'm helping out at an Italian restaurant, and I'm there for like, this was like my 3rd day literally, and I'm on pastas, and there's 20 different pastas on the menu, so I'm still like kind of still getting used to like the procedure and like the recipes. And you know, it's like a sour day and we have like 320 covers, and a lot of them are ordering pastas. It's like, oh, pappardelle, and then like a cacio e pepe, and this and that, and I'm just like, I have like a 10 burner stovetop, and I'm like, every one of them is filled, and
That's
like
actually
I had no time to like get them going, so like every dirty pan I would just take it and toss it to like the dish bin, and it was like
Oh
just
my
crazy.
God.
And I remember it was like, it felt like 200 degrees, I felt like I was in an oven. So I'm actually happy with this right now. Like I'm not, you know.
This is cool to you.
This is
weather.
like, yeah.
Yeah.
And broilers coming at me like really hot, so I'm grateful I'm not there anymore.
That's a good reason.
Yeah.
My in the weeds recently actually was I was doing we do these like backyard events when we host like 200 people. I usually collaborate with another chef. I make half the menu, they make the other half of the menu. I wake up in the morning, the day of the event. It's probably like gonna start in like 4 hours. I have all my prep stuff ready, and then I get a text from the chef saying that they're sick and they're not gonna be able to make it. And then so I was like, fuck, what am I gonna do? So I just like ran. Well, I didn't run to the farmer's market, but I went to the farmer's market, had to make up 2 dishes, just grabbed shit, and got like some, I don't even remember what I made. I just got like a bunch of different fish, and I don't even remember the other dish I made, and I just like kind of just did it and got it done, but I was still working by myself to like service the 200 people.
That's crazy.
And so I did that, and I felt like I was just like it's just
Wow.
like someone like pounding my head, and it's like, yeah, it was like a blur. There's so many people that said hi to me. I don't even remember them saying hi, but it was just like, yeah, I think I was cursed because I told everyone, I was like, I haven't been in the weeds in a while, and then that happened, and I was like, all right.
You never want to jinx yourself ever. If it's ever slow, and you want to pick up, have you heard that?
Yes,
Like,
everyone
wow,
says
it's really
that.
slow. I think I might take a break. All of a sudden.
Oh shit.
Say it out loud.
Yeah. Order fire. What's the worst thing a chef has ever said to you?
You don't belong here.
No.
Dang.
I mean, cause like I understand. I'm a girl, and I'm not ugly. I know that.
Yeah.
So like being in a male-dominated like position, in the restaurant industry is just like kind of brutal. And like everywhere I've been, like they've always had to hold my hand, and they would never trust me to do anything. And like everything I do, like I feel like they're staring at me do it because they're scared I'm gonna fuck it up, or I'd be holding something and be like, oh, isn't that too hot for your fingers? And I'm just like, shut up, like, Yeah. And I just feel like I have to work like twice as hard just to prove myself. So, yeah.
And I bet you're better. I bet it.
Try to be.
Yeah. That's crazy. I don't think I have one, honestly. I don't know. Sometimes I don't know Spanish, and sometimes I feel like they're saying things about me. I just hope it's good. Sometimes, though, the tone, I can tell it's not
Yeah,
good.
like you're like,
I'm like, thank you. Thanks. They're like, bitch. Like, yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. I've been told lots of stuff, but you
you don't have like the worst one.
Let me think. There hasn't been like a really bad one where a chef has been like mean to me, but it's always more like I just kind of fucked up, and they're just like, don't ever do that again, or like you're fucked.
Oh no.
Yeah. But yeah, not bad. I think I just like, I'm sorry, like I just work really hard, and there's like never been a moment where someone's just gonna be like, you suck, like, because I know I don't suck.
You didn't give them the opportunity to say so.
Yeah, exactly.
We're staring at it like,
I know.
it's like it's
gonna
coming.
come
Order fire. Okay, if you're watching the show right now, please like and subscribe. If you're enjoying this episode with Nicole and Alexis, please like and subscribe. Okay, order fire. Why should you never date anyone at work?
I have experience.
We all have experience.
Oh, it can get so muddy. You don't want to do it. People gossip, especially in the workplace. Word gets around, and eventually, if you guys break up, everyone will start telling their own stories about why and talk behind your back and stuff like that. It just becomes like, it's like a family environment sometimes, and then next thing you know, if you talk to someone else who's in the workplace, that can get so muddy if you've already like been talking to someone else in the workplace. Yeah, it's not a good idea. Don't do it.
I mean, I agree. 100%. Everything you said is completely true. And I guess being in the food industry, like you're there all day, every day. So I understand why you may have feelings for these people, but I assure you, there are better people outside of the industry, and maybe, just look elsewhere.
I think it's a proximity thing.
Yeah.
It's because you're around them all the time. So you may not actually like them. You just think you do.
I have a funny story. So I met my girlfriend at the place I worked.
Oh.
And she was a GM and I was a sous chef.
Oh my god.
And then I quit after. And then we're still dating. It's been 3 years.
Aw.
Yeah. So
Okay,
that's
well,
a
that's
happy
like
story.
how-
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
you have.
I understood
Yeah.
what
You're
was
one
happening.
of the few and you had to leave
I had
for
to
obvious
leave,
reasons.
yes.
Okay. Valid.
Valid. It's very rare though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's like
Yeah.
almost like high school sweethearts rare.
Yeah. And now we have our own business together. So there you
so
go.
cute. Love that.
Yeah. Order fire. What's your dumbest excuse to get out of work? I feel like you both don't call out of work.
Yeah,
Yeah, you guys are.
I guess.
Troopers.
Does that mean we have to take a shot?
Yeah, because I don't want to give up my
Yeah.
excuses. They're good excuses for a reason.
Dang.
She doesn't want to give
Gatekeeping.
her playbook.
I will be gatekeeping. Okay. Ugh. I never call out.
Yeah.
Every once in a while, but
I have never done it before.
I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever called off of work.
okay. If you guys never, then that makes me sound like I actually do.
No,
a lot.
like-
No,
I do
I've
every
only
once in a
done
while.
it for
For
real
me,
reasons,
yeah, like
not a dumb
sick,
excuse.
yeah.
But I mean, I had a holiday party one time, and we all just completely raged at the bar. We had to work
okay.
the next day, and we took a lot of drugs. And we all still went to work the next day.
Troopers.
And I ran to the liquor store to get us all Gatorade because we really needed it.
Oh, so you guys stuck it through?
Yeah, we all stuck it through. But that probably would have been an instance where I should have called off work and said something else. Yeah.
Okay.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. Okay. Have you ever done it without a chaser?
Yes.
Should be the no face challenge. Okay.
What's your most memorable holiday staff party?
I've only had one.
The not the Halloween, the Christmas party.
Yeah.
Is
What
that
about
your
you?
Party? Same
What-
one. That's the
Okay.
one I've had.
Okay. So we.
We used to work together. Okay.
Obviously.
So, you want to explain your?
Your side of the story?
We pre-gamed at a friend's house and like
Was I there?
yeah, you were there. And see, you don't even remember going into the party. We pre-gamed at a friend's house. We came in. I remember being already pretty drunk that I kissed the GM on the cheek. And I'm just like,
No.
oh hi.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't call it like
Can you
wild.
give a
Like we
little
weren't
slap on the
crazy.
butt? Hello.
We weren't crazy. I don't think I
No.
was crazy or anything, but it was like I can't say it was wild. It was just like my only holiday party. I've never really had holiday parties.
Yeah, I want more. They were fun.
I feel like they expired after COVID, right?
Yes.
It was right before COVID, and we've never had one since. And
Yeah.
apparently, they used to be a thing back then.
Yeah.
And also like I have my own business now, so I can't
Yes.
So you can throw your own.
You can throw your own.
Yeah.
with a small team.
Maybe I should throw one too.
Yes.
Yes.
It's
Maybe
like for the industry holiday party.
We
Yeah.
should start
For
making that a thing
Linecheck.
again. That was really fun.
Yeah, I miss holiday
Yeah,
parties.
because like my team is so small, so maybe I can just join yours.
Yeah.
I only have 2 people, me and Sasha.
Oh my god.
Yeah, there you
Party
go.
for two.
So
Order fire. Do you think restaurant owners should have prior restaurant experience to operate?
that's a hard one. I would say yes, because you can have all the education you need. You can graduate from culinary school, or you can you can have an MBA, whatever. But unless you have been in the restaurant industry through and through, it would be very hard for you to, number one, make it successful, and number two, make it a good work environment, and just, have a good operating, operation. Like I don't know, I can't explain it. Like experience trumps like
Education.
education. Because everything you read in the books, sure, that's good, but I think you need to learn what it's like to be a server and how like tough it is to be a server, and you need to also have maybe a little bit of back of house experience, or if not expo, so you can kind of see how everyone, how everyone's experiences are. That way you can be an effective leader.
Yes, I agree. I feel like if you were to get hired, having no experience, you are supposed to learn all the positions so you know how to, operate. But having been in those like positions for longer than just your training, like going up positions as you go throughout the years, that's experience that you have that no one can take from you. I feel like that's something that you can utilize as a strength, like as an owner or a manager at a business. And they're unique experiences to you. There's so many things that go on in a restaurant, and I feel like experience does help. I don't think you can just come. I mean, you can, and there are people that do it, but I just feel like people that have been in it for a longer period of time, they just know how to run things a little bit more smoother.
Yeah, I think it's just like a little bit more difficult if an owner's never worked in a restaurant for them. I think they just learn it the harder way, and then they have to like go through the grind. And I think it's easier when you've already like worked in the industry for a really long time, and then you own and operate your own business, and then I think you make the job easier for your employees as well, just because you like know how to do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Or like in a different case, I know many restaurant owners that actually have zero restaurant experience, but they let their executive chefs do everything, do all their work for them, and they just fund it, and like good for them. Like it's successful, but also like all your work is just on the general manager or the executive chef. Yeah, there are a lot of establishments that still do that, and yeah, I mean it works. If you have the
It
money.
works until it doesn't. So
That's a wrap. Thanks for participating, guys.
I was excited for this question.
If you guys want to actually know that these are real tickets, they are real tickets.
Really?
Yes, they
Any
are.
questions on them?
Oh, I love them.
Not fake.
Cute.
Not scripted.
Oh my god, how fun. $0.
Yeah, sorry, no tips today, guys. All right, guys, that's a wrap, and that's Line Check, and this is Battle of the Houses. We'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.